Set it up. Choose someone to be the banker. The banker's in charge of the bank's Imperial credit, hideout cards, and auctions. The banker can play too, but must keep their Imperial credit separate from the bank. Number 2. Banker gives each player 5 Imperial credits of the 10 and 2 of the 50 Imperial credits, for a total of 150 Imperial credits. Number 3. Shuffle the signet cards and place them face down. Number 4. Place Grogu on the just visiting space and his character ability card close by. Number 5. Place the Stormtrooper token on the Imperial outpost space. Number 6. Place the Dark Trooper token on this Imperial output space. Number 7. Place Moff Gideon token on this Imperial outpost space. Place the token Imperial enemy card here. We are placing the Imperial enemy card here for Moff Gideon. Number 8. Separate the Stormtrooper and Dark Trooper cards by type. Then based on the number of players, place each pile face up here with numerical order with 1 on top. So we have the Stormtrooper, and then we have the cards that are going to be faced up in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we have 4 players. We're going to place all the 4 cards here. And the Dark Troopers, it's in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place that there. Number 9. Each player chooses a character token. Place your token on go and your character's ability card in front of you. So let's say I wanted to be Bo-Katan. We're going to place it on go. And then we're going to have our player card in front of us. Play! How to win. Move around the board buying as many hideouts as you can. The more you own, the more rent you'll be able to collect from the other players. If you're the player with the most Imperial credits, at the end of the game, you win. Who goes first? Each player rolls the silver die. The highest roller starts. The play moves to the left. On your turn, if you have Grogu, roll the green die. If you don't have Grogu, roll the silver die. Move your token and Grogu, if you have them, clockwise that number of spaces. Where did you land? Carry out the rules of the board spaces. See the board spaces. If you pass or land on Grogu, take Grogu with you. You will move with him with your token. Place his character card in front of you. See Grogu. If you pass or land on the Imperial enemy, you must battle them. See battles. Your turn ends. Pass the die to the left. The board spaces. When you land on an unknown hideout, you must buy it or auction it. Want to buy it? Pay the price on the board space and then take the hideout card from the bank. Don't want to buy it? The banker must auction it. Bidding starts at 10 and anyone can increase the bid as little as 10. You don't need to follow turn order, and the banker ends the auction when no player is willing to increase the bid. The highest bidder pays the bank. If no one wants to bid on the hideout, that's fine. No one pays anything and the hideout stays with the bank. Collect color sets. When you own each hideout in each color set, you can collect an increased rent for these hideouts. Owned hideouts. When you land on a hideout that someone else owns, the owner must ask you for rent. If you do, you must pay the rent shown on the hideout card. If they don't ask before the next player rolls the die, you don't have to pay. Action spaces. When you pass or land on go space, collect 20 from the bank. Imperial advance. When you land here, roll the silver die, and then move the Stormtrooper and Dark Trooper tokens clockwise that many spaces. Imperial enemies never follow the rules of the space where they land. If an enemy is on an Imperial outpost, it must use its first move to move to the Imperial advance space and continue clockwise. Move Moff Gideon token in the same way, but only when all other hideouts have been purchased and when there is only one Stormtrooper or Dark Trooper card left in the respective decks. Note: you may never have more than one Imperial enemy on the same space. If an enemy would move onto another enemy space, place the enemy token that did not begin its move in an Imperial outpost one space further ahead on the board. Signet. Take the top card from the Signet deck. If your card tells you to keep it until it's ready to use it, you may do so. Otherwise, immediately do what it says, return it to the bottom of the deck when done. There is no limit to how many Signet cards you may have or how many you may use in one turn. Unexpected ally. There are 2 unexpected allies, Captain Carson Teva and Fennec Shand. If you land on either of these allies, immediately advance to the next unknown hideout. You may buy it. If there are no unknown hideouts, move to the next unexpected ally space instead. If you pass go, collect 20. If you pass an Imperial enemy, do not battle. If you pass Grogu, you may not take him. Your turn is then over. Imperial credits, collect 30 from the bank. If you land on free parking, if you do not have Grogu, take him and place him with your token. You must now protect Grogu. Place Grogu's character card and the green die in front of you. See Grogu. If you already have Grogu, do nothing. If you land on just visiting, don't worry. If you just land here, place your token in just visiting section. If you're the first player to pass or land on the space, take Grogu and place him with your token. Place Grogu's character and the green die in front of you. Remember, you must not take Grogu if you pass him while using an unexpected ally space to advance. If you land on go to jail, move your token to the in jail space immediately. Do not collect 20 for passing go. If you have Grogu, place him on any other hideout you own. If you don't own any hideouts, leave Grogu on the go to jail space. He's unattended for now. Your turn is then over. You can still collect rent, bid during auctions, and trade while you're in jail. How to get out of jail? You have 2 options. Pay 50 credits at the start of your next turn, then roll and move as normal, or roll a 6 on your next turn. If you do, you're free. Use the roll to move. That's the end of your turn. You can use up to 3 turns to try for 6. If you do not roll a 6 by your 3rd turn in jail, move your token to just visiting space and end your turn. Character abilities. Each character has 2 unique abilities that you may use throughout the game. Their standard character ability and enhanced ability they can use when they have Grogu. Standard abilities are described below and on your character card. Mandalorian. When you need to pay rent, subtract 10 from the payment. Bo-Katan. When you pass go, collect 50 instead of 20. Ahsoka. When battling an enemy, you may re-roll the silver die, but you must use the second roll. Boba Fett. When you land on a signet card, draw 2 cards, keep or use one, and return the other to the bottom of the deck. Grogu. Getting Grogu. If you pass or land on Grogu's space, take him and place him with your token. You'll move Grogu token around the board with your token. Take Grogu's character card and green die and place those in front of you. You may not take Grogu if you pass him while using an unexpected ally space to advance. Moving with Grogu. When you have Grogu, roll the green die instead of the silver die at the start of the turn. Notice when you roll the green die, you may roll only a 1, 2, or 3. When you have Grogu, moving is slower process. Then move your token and Grogu clockwise that number of spaces. If you come in contact with an enemy while carrying Grogu, you must still battle that enemy, but you may use Grogu's powers to describe to the right. Using Grogu's powers. When you have Grogu, you have 2 special abilities. Grogu's ability, which allow you to roll both dice when battling enemy. Your character's unique ability. See below for your unique ability each character has when they have Grogu. These abilities are also described on your character's card. If you have Grogu at the end of the game, you may collect 100 from the bank. Protect Grogu. If Grogu is ever alone on a space, and an Imperial enemy would pass or land on that space, Grogu is captured, and the game ends immediately. No one wins. Battles. When you pass or land on the same space as an Imperial enemy, you must battle them. If you would pass an Imperial enemy, end your move on their space. When an Imperial enemy passes or lands on your space, you do not battle. When you need to battle, do the following. Follow the rules of the space where you land. Note, if you landed on the unexpected ally with an enemy, use the unexpected ally space to advance and get away. Take the top card from the matching Imperial enemy deck. Stormtroopers are white and Dark Troopers are black. If you have any signet cards with the Darksaber or thermal detonators and would like to use them, announce so. Place the cards at the bottom of the signet deck after the battle. Roll the silver die. If you have Grogu, roll both dice. If you have Ahsoka, don't forget that you may re-roll as per your character card. Did you beat the Imperial enemy? If your roll is equal or higher than the required roll, you win. Immediately carry out the bonus on the Imperial enemy card and place the card in front of you. If there are still Imperial enemy cards for that enemy type left on the board, Move that enemy token to the next unoccupied Imperial post. If there are no cards left, remove that enemy token from the game. If you beat Moff Gideon, collect 100. Then the game is over. See the end of the game. Did you lose this time? If your roll is less than the required roll, you lose the battle. Immediately carry out the penalty on the Imperial enemy card and then place the card back on the board. Move the enemy token to the next unoccupied Imperial outpost. If you have Grogu, he is safe. If you lost to Moff Gideon, immediately go to jail. Leave Moff Gideon on his current space and place his card back on the board. If you have Grogu, he is taken and the game is over. No one wins. Deals and trades. You can buy, sell, or swap hideouts with other players at any time. Hideouts can be traded for Imperial credits, other hideouts, or signets cards. The amount is decided by the player making the deal. Help! I can't pay! Try to raise money. If you owe Imperial credits you can't pay, try to raise the money by selling hideouts back to the bank for the price written on the board space. You also sell hideouts and other signet cards to other players for the agreed upon price. If you're still in debt and owe another player, give them any unsold signet cards. If you owe the bank, return any unsold signet cards to the bottom of the deck. If you have no Imperial credits, hideouts, signet cards, hang in there. You're still in the game. You may earn Imperial credits by passing go or landing on the Imperial credit space. The end of the game. The game ends immediately when Moff Gideon is defeated or when the Imperial enemy passes or lands on a space where Grogu has been left alone. If an Imperial enemy lands on a space where Grogu has been left alone, no one wins. If Moff Gideon was defeated, players do the following. All players collect rent from the bank for each of their hideouts. For hideouts in a set, collect double rent. If a player has Grogu, then collect 100 from the bank. The player with the most Imperial enemy cards collect 50 from the bank. If there is a tie, the tied player with the most hideouts collects 50 from the bank. Now count up your Imperial credits. The player with the most wins. That's it.